There's a whole lot going down with the daytime divas, baby. Let me get into it.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms.
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for season 1, episode 4 of Daytime Divas. Okay, so this show there's so much that goes on. You just got to roll with me and you just got to listen because I'm going to explain it. But you'll notice I don't do the scene by scene by scene. It's too much. There's too much going on for me to actually do it like that. So let's just as it comes to me, I'm going to shoot it out my mouth, okay? All right. So let's talk about the PAs, first of all. You got Ramona, which we've kind of figured out that bitch is a little stalkerish. She's a little psycho. She got the little cat lady thing going on, okay? So we seen that last week, and she's the bitch that was stealing shit. Okay, so she is the one thing, she's smart as a whip, and she has ideas, and she wants to produce things and things like that. She wants to do the same thing that Leo does. Only difference is she has the actual talent to do it where Leo doesn't. Leo has the good looks and the push and pull and the boldness to actually move through. And it usually is that way. There's people who don't deserve to be in certain positions that actually get there. He has good dick, and he was fucking Mo, and that was helping him along. Okay, so saying that, let's talk about Ramona going up on Maxine, and they're actually talking. Maxine called her for something, and Ramona kind of got a little nerve up, and she blurted out that she wanted to produce this church segment that had to do with Heather that was actually going to be coming up. Maxine was like, cool, no problem. No problem. Go ahead and do it. So she was like really happy. Well, in the midst of things, something shifted, and Sean had already promised that Leo was going to do it, and then he ran in and talked to Maxine. By the time Ramona had returned from what she was doing with Maxine, she'd have been bumped out of the way for Leo again. I said, you know what? Y'all don't even know it because they're not paying attention. They don't know it. I said, y'all putting yourself in danger, child, fucking around with the cat lady, honey. But they don't even know it. So we going to keep our good eye on Miss Ramona because she was pretty pissed. So that was what it was. Leo done bumped her again. Okay. There was a complete goings on between Maxine and Anna, naturally. Okay, so Anna and Maxine actually end up having a conversation, and Maxine says she found out that Anna has been talking to Philip, the neighbor, and she says, well, Anna, nobody cares about that really. She says, well, you know, he's very talkative and he likes to really share. Really likes to share. So she said, girl, ain't nobody thinking about you talking with the grand dame of Penthouse B. So I laughed at that, and she just kind of blew her off. Then there was Maxine always, if you fuck with her, she's going to come at you another way. Well, there was this whole thing. Anna's actually working for a guy now that Maxine knows. Maxine's like, okay, I'll get this bitch. I'll get her. Either she's going to do away with that book and go fade into the background, or I'm going to get her. So she ends up set her sights on her. She set up this whole little thing. Anna was supposed to go to a concert and have backstage passes to actually see Sia, the singer Sia. Maxine eases her ass on down to the box office, takes Leo with her, says that she's Anna, gets the tickets, gives them to Leo, and says, now, if you go to jail, now that's on you, but whatever. He so excited about backstage passes and all that, he didn't care. He said, whatever. This fool was scalping them. He's scalping the tickets and selling them. So he sells the tickets, and nobody shows up for a backstage pass situation. Nobody shows up to interview Sia. So that actually ended up getting Anna into trouble. Later on in the program, Anna had a second chance at interviewing Sia. Maxine infiltrated it yet again, ended up making sure that Anna had the wrong address for where she was going, and she fucked it up, and she completely ended up missing it. So that was 2 missed opportunities to do it. Sia was gone. It was just done deal, and being fresh at this new job that was not looking good for Miss Anna, so she was pissed with Maxine. We'll come back to them later. Let's go talk about Heather and her husband. Heather decided to ask her husband, you know, are you going to come? Because she is a single that she actually has done, a religious single to sing. And she's asking him something about coming. You know, remember, he's not in the bedroom. He's in the basement. So they're basically kind of broke up, but in the house. He basically told her, fuck no, get out my face. So he's showing his ass now. And Heather's seeing it. And he basically let her know, he said, I don't have to pretend to even care about this shit with you anymore. So it was like, okay, this is a mess. So she's feeling really pushed to the side. Of course, they're not having sex or anything. In the midst of all that, we got a new person that's actually taken over Mo's seat. Her name is Porsha. Porsha Camden. Porsha is just like Mo, pretty much. She's snipey, snarky, cute. She's black. She's a comedian for the most part. Only thing that she doesn't do that Mo did is she doesn't attack Maxine. Okay, so she's actually there, you know, and they're basically doing a trial run with her. She cooks and all of this stuff. So her and Heather have kind of made friends. The one thing that I forgot to tell you about, she's a lesbian as well. Okay, so all the girls, they know that she's a lesbian. It was funny because throughout the whole program, you see her and Heather are starting to actually bond. And she's kind of pushing some of her personality onto to Heather. So Heather's starting to get a little bit tougher. You know, there was a situation where they had a conversation with Sean, where Sean usually just pushes Heather around. Heather was like, no, that's not what I'm trying to do. It's not, you know, she's standing up for herself and that kind of thing. That damn Porsha's teaching her to be a bitch. Okay? So, in the midst of all that, Heather has found herself fantasizing about making out with Porsha. So it's a mess. It's a mess. So she ends up going to, whenever we get around to, she had this whole little thing where she debuted her single. She ends up talking to her pastor, which he's a young guy, good looking. She talks to him right before singing her song, and she's talking to him. She's telling him, you know, all the troubles that she's been having at home, and this, that, thing, and the other. Then she confides in him about these unnatural feelings that she's having toward Porsha, and he's saying, you know, he's like, you're not gay. That's not it. You're just feeling a little left out. You're not having anybody telling you the things that you need to hear to make you feel like a woman, and this, that, thing, and the other. And he's steady pushing up on her. Next thing you know, baby, he done lip locked her, honey. So she was all into it, all with it at first. Then, in her own crazy, because you know she's a crazy religious fool, she turns around and cold cocks him, bow, smacks him and tells him, shame on you. Thank you for helping me, but shame on you for trying to take advantage of me in my weakness. I said, crazy bitch. Meanwhile, you were kissing him too, you stinking whore. I just laughed at her. So that actually went on there. There was something else that actually went on there as well at that little function, but let me back up first to bring you up to speed and go back into it. It was with Sean and Nina's husband, Andrew. Okay, Nina's husband, Andrew, and Sean run into each other in the bathroom. And they have this small talk, and it's kind of shady. And Andrew basically lets Sean know, fuck you. I already know you're pregnant with her baby. You know, that she's pregnant with your baby. Lord have mercy. She's pregnant with your baby. And we're going to do everything by my rules and the way that I say. So it is what it is. Whatever. You've been fucking my wife. Good for you. And so we got that. Now let's move forward to the same little event that Heather's doing. Heather starts singing her song. Leo fucked everything up, okay? They blamed everything on Leo because everything just ends up fucking up. But anyway, they're right backstage. Andrew and Sean start having words again. Andrew got this thing on his shoulder where he's feeling like he's just going to talk shit to Sean whenever he wants. But we all know Sean is a spoiled rotten brat, so that's not going to happen. He told Sean, wait until you find out that your little girlfriend is not only a slut, she's also a liar. I said, no, he didn't. He turned around. Sean knocked the goddamn cowboy shit out of him and knocked the fucking backdrop over. And he ends up blurting out, it failed. Heather stopped singing. He's telling him, she's pregnant with my baby. And just know from here on, nobody's following your rules, punk. We're going to follow my rules. Well, baby, people were given this in the audience. And they were recording their ass off, honey. So I was like, oh, jeez, what's going to happen from here? So we had all of that go on. It was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So the cat is completely out of the bag. Okay, so let's talk about Kibby, because we haven't talked about Kibby. Let's talk about Kibby. Kibby's whole little situation. Kibby has her little personal person to keep her in line that Maxine hired. On the show, we were actually going to have, I guess her name was Maddie. Maddie and Kibby were actually on the same television show when they were kids. It was like a Mickey Mouse Club type of show. And Kibby basically beat Maddie's ass. Maddie was one of those mean girls, and Kibby just basically whooped that ass. Okay, so it's always been this real big thing because of, again, Kibby was like supposed to be a child star who got on drugs and all this thing. So that just didn't help. She had like issues with that. So there's been this feud between the two of them. They were supposed to squash the feud on set, on screen, and Kibby supposedly is going to apologize to her. Kibby's like, I hate that bitch. That bitch is a liar. This, that, thing, and the other. So the first time we actually see Maddie, because they're telling her, girl, it's good for your career. Redemption is always good. So Kibby's like, no problem, fine. And Maxine said, do it, so fine. So she's sitting there. Maddie comes in. Now, in the meantime, between time, Maddie's been playing this victim. Oh, I'm so afraid of her. This, that, thing, the other. Oh, her jumping on me and ruined my life. All that bullshit. So when Kibby sees Maddie, she rolls up or she's like, hey, bitch, what's going on, Annie? She's like, I don't understand. I thought you were so afraid. She said, girl, we are totally like frenzies, girl. We've gotten all past that and everything. Girl, fuck that shit, bitch. Let's chill later, okay? All right, bitch, I gotta go to hair and makeup. And she just went on. And we were like, okay. So when they go to set, they get on set, they're walking on. They go to bring Maddie on. Maddie does this whole 180. Whenever she got back Kibby, she's like, oh, I'm so afraid of her. I have what is that? PTSD? I think that's what it is. PTSD, post-traumatic syndrome disorder. Yes, that's it. Work with me here. I fucked that up, didn't I? Woo, okay. PTSD. Post traumas. Woo, okay. I'm not editing that out. I really fucked that word up. Whatever. Post trauma. Okay. Anyway. All right, fuck it. Moving on. So she supposedly has this whole disorder, which is bullshit. It's all put on, okay? So I'm real tickled with myself right now. But anyway, so she is playing this game. Kibby done got madder than a motherfucker over there, okay? So Kibby's sitting on there, and this is why we see how Maxine can see straight through to see exactly who Kibby's going to grow up to be, and she loves Kibby. She sat there, baby, and she literally let Maddie motherfucking have it right on screen. Child, we're sitting there and Kibby did what she was told in a very, very bitchy way. Some shit that I would have did. Her little personal story. Make sure everything you say is just an I thing. You keep bringing it back. I did this. I did that. I'm sorry for that. And people, it'll work because that's redemption. It's fine. So she did it. When she started doing that, Kibby said, "Okay, I'm gonna go on and play the eye roll." She says, let me say I want to apologize because it was wrong of me to do what I did to you, and it was probably pretty petty of me, because I was the one that was feeling some kind of way when you stole my boyfriend, and then I was the one that was feeling some kind of way when you gave him chlamydia, and and I was the one who was feeling some kind of way, and it was probably all in my head, when you called me fat when I really wasn't, but you had me feeling really bad about myself, and I was like really on the outs from everybody, and nobody dealt with me, and they were all your friends. That was probably really all me. I made myself into the outcast. She said, Maddie was looking like, oh shit. She said, can we go to commercial? Maxine was like, absolutely not. Continue, Kibby. And then Kibby really brought it up and said, and also it was probably my fault that I felt some type of way when you wouldn't invite me to the Coke parties that you used to have. Yeah, that was probably all me. Child, that Maddie, you could have bought her for a nickel. I said, oh my God, she let her have it. And that Maxine was like, fabulous. She loved it. She absolutely loved it. So I had laughed about that whole thing. Okay, so let's go on to Anna and Maxine and their bullshit again. So Anna, after she ended up losing her job, because Maxine actually ended up going down to actually see the guy who Anna worked for, and she was like, is she doing a good job? And he's like, she's not doing well. She kind of messed up. This whole thing was said. She said, she was terrible when she's working for me, but I just tried, because I wanted to really help her. So I just tried. Baby, he fired her. So then Anna contacts Maxine and she says, okay, you win on that. You finally got me. You got me completely fired from my job. And I'll tell you what I'll do. I will drop the book. I'll shelf the book and leave everything alone if you make me a co-host on the show. I'll drop the book. So Maxine was like, fine, consider it done. So then she actually contacts Porsha and lets Porsha know that she actually was letting her go, that her little trial didn't really work, that she was going to let her go. So Maxine was like, that's fine, it's no big deal. I'll bring her onto the show, and that way I can control this bitch. When she works for me, I can control her. So let me tell you about one last thing with Miss Porsha. Child, that damn Heather got her ass on her shoulders and goes and approaches Porsha and lets her know, I am straight. I'm straight. And if you had feelings for me, I apologize if it came, my friendship with you came out the wrong way. She's really like going there. And Porsha was like, oh, wait a minute. Hold on, honey. Hold it. Because I told you she's just ignorant like Mo. She said, did you think that I was liking you? She said, girl, you are not my type, honey. So you've totally misconstrued the everything about me being friends with you. Girl, I was friends with you because I think you're sad, honey. I'm like trying to help you out because I just thought I could help you, but girl, I don't like you. She said, let me kind of put it into perspective for you, honey. If you and I were the last two people on earth, honey, and it was up to us to procreate, to create more people, baby, the earth would be empty. I said, oh my God. Just honey, I looked at her face. Honey, that Heather was feeling some kind of way. I said, you might want to run on back down to church and go back to kissing on the preacher, honey. I fell out laughing. So I messed. And like I said, there was a whole lot going on. Last thing. Okay. The neighbor, Philip, we found out at the end, there was this whole fight. There was some big fight that Maxine was having a Flashback on. Here it is. Philip actually had not video, but a cassette tape of the audio. He could hear the glasses breaking and all of the conversation in her apartment. A mess. And he was sharing it with Anna. So I don't know where we're going from there, but I'm sure it's going to be good. All right, guys. Thanks so much for trying to hold that while I get it all together and screwing up words and everything. And again, still enjoying this. I love this little show. And I'll see you guys next week. All right, guys. Bye.